welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Yeah, we are so glad you're joining us again.
Definitely. And just a quick note before we really get into it. Today's material is actually drawn from a SpeakDuo lesson. It's based on this really fun, wired video interview with, the Spider-Man cast.
Right, the Tom Holland and Zendaya one.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, you can go to SpeakDuo.com to meet new people from around the world who are practicing English on video calls to become more confident with their English speaking abilities. Highly recommend checking that out.
For sure. And so our mission today is really to just jump straight into it and break down some of these advanced everyday idiomatic phrases, things you can use in your professional and personal conversations.
Like the stuff people actually say at work.
Exactly. No textbook stuff today. We're getting right to the idioms.
Awesome. So let's start with kind of navigating the workplace, like the professional playground, right?
Yeah.
And the first one we have here is a heads up.
Right, a heads up. So this is basically a quick informal warning.
Yeah.
I mean, if you compare it to like a formal notification.
Oh, formal notification sounds so scary, like an HR email or something.
Exactly. A formal notification is like a blaring alarm.
Yeah.
But a heads up is, it's more like a friendly tap on the shoulder.
I like that. So like if I'm talking to my boss, or maybe my boss is talking to me, they might say, just a heads up, the meeting will start 10 minutes earlier tomorrow.
Right. It's not a reprimand. It's just helpful. And, if you're taking the IELTS speaking test, especially part 2.
Oh, yeah, that's a great place to use this.
Totally. Like if the prompt asks you to describe a time you helped a colleague, you could say something like, I gave them a heads up about a sudden schedule change so they can prepare. It just sounds so natural.
So natural. Okay, so next one. Let's say you get that heads up, you go to the meeting, and you get a project, and someone tells you to run with something.
Oh, I love this one. To run with something.
It sounds so active.
It is. It means taking an idea and just developing it really enthusiastically.
As opposed to what? Just thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. But contrast it with thinking it over.
Right.
Thinking it over is very passive, right? You're just sitting there.
Right.
But running with it is kinetic. You are moving. You're taking action.
So if a boss hands off a project, I could say, she suggested a simple concept, and the team ran with it to build a full plan.
Perfect example. You didn't just sit on the idea. You ran with it.
Okay, but what happens when you run with it, you do a great job, and then that one annoying coworker decides to take full credit?
Ugh, yeah. The classic office villain move.
Right, taking full credit.
So this means claiming all the praise, and usually, unfairly.
I feel like the key word there is full, like taking full credit.
It is. Because, sharing the credit or acknowledging the team is the opposite. That's what you should do. The selfish nuance really comes from claiming the full credit.
Yeah, like office gossip. You'd be at the water cooler like, can you believe he took full credit for the team's success even though everyone helped?
I've definitely had conversations exactly like that.
Me too. Okay, so moving on to something a bit more positive. A no-brainer.
Yes, a no-brainer. This is a decision that basically needs, little to no thought.
But wait, let me ask you this. Is it an insult?
What do you mean?
Like, if I call something a no-brainer, am I saying it doesn't require intelligence? Am I calling someone stupid?
Oh, no, not at all. That's a really common misconception, actually. It's a compliment to the opportunity, not an insult to the person.
Oh, okay.
Think of it like the opposite of a dilemma. A dilemma causes you stress.
Right.
You're agonizing over it.
Right, you're losing sleep.
Exactly. But a no-brainer, it brings relief. It's so obviously a good choice that your brain gets to rest.
That makes total sense. So in a workplace context, you'd say accepting the free training opportunity was a no-brainer for her career.
Absolutely. No thought required. Just say yes.
Right. Okay, so that's the professional stuff. Let's talk about, emotional states, reactions, and vibes.
Yeah, because obviously workplace stuff causes a lot of internal reactions.
Tons. And the first one here is being over it.
Being over it. This means you are no longer emotionally invested.
Like you just don't care anymore.
Pretty much. But you have to compare being over it with getting over it.
Right, because getting over it is like a process, right?
Exactly. Getting over it is active, it's ongoing, it can be painful, like getting over a breakup.
Right.
But being over it means you're done. It's a completed state of emotional detachment.
I see. So if a colleague is venting to me, they might say, you know what, after months of arguing about the project, I'm over it and ready to move on.
Yep. They've reached the finish line of caring.
Wow. Okay, but what if you're not totally over it, but you're just you've come to terms with it.
Oh, that's a great transition. Coming to terms with something.
That sounds a lot more mature.
It is.
Yeah.
It means gradually accepting a difficult situation.
Mm.
And I like to contrast this with giving up.
Okay, what's the difference there?
Well, giving up is just defeat. You just drop the ball and walk away.
Yeah.
But coming to terms implies reaching a state of peace. You've processed it.
Right, you found a way to live with it.
Exactly. So back to IELTS Part 2. If you have to describe a challenging life event, you could say, it took a while, but she came to terms with the decision and felt calmer.
That's a really elevated way to describe a problem.
It really is. It shows emotional intelligence in your vocabulary.
For sure. Okay, next up, someone who is laid back.
Laid back, relaxed, not easily upset.
You know, it always reminds me of a duck gliding on water.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like even if there are crazy deadlines happening, they just look completely unbothered on the surface.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
But we should definitely contrast laid back with careless.
Oh, true, because careless is bad.
Exactly. Careless is negative negligence. You're ignoring the work. But laid back is positive calm. You're doing the work. You're just not panicking about it.
Right, so a boss might praise an employee by saying he's very laid back about deadlines and handles pressure calmly.
Yes. You definitely want to be laid back, not careless.
Right. Okay, last one in this emotional category. To weird out.
To weird someone out. This means making someone feel uncomfortable or, like, unsettled.
I feel like we need to distinguish this from being scared.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Compare weirding someone out with terrifying someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different.
Yeah, terrifying is like you fear for your life.
Right. But weirding someone out is just an uneasy vibe. It's not mortal terror.
So, casual office chat. That unexpected comment really weirded me out during the meeting.
It's exactly just a strange, uncomfortable feeling.
Okay, let's move to our final segment before the quiz. High performance.
Yes, getting out of our heads and into the physical world. Hobbies, fitness, crushing goals.
And the first one here is so aggressive. To kill it.
To kill it, which means performing extremely well.
It's so funny, right? Like, English idioms can be so intense. You contrast the figurative meaning of killing it, supreme success, with the literal meaning, which is just gruesome.
It really is. You're not actually ending a life. You're just doing a really good job.
Right, so giving praise to a colleague, you'd say, she killed it during her presentation and impressed the entire team.
Yep. She didn't murder the presentation. She just aced it.
Exactly. Okay, so speaking of physical things, in that Tom Holland video, there was a lot of talk about fitness. What's the difference between getting jacked and bulking up?
Oh, this is a great distinction. So bulked up basically means gaining significant muscle mass, like get physically larger.
Okay, like a bodybuilder in the off-season?
Right. Just put it on size.
Right.
But getting jacked, that means becoming highly muscular and really defined, like looking strong and cut.
So low body fat, very visible muscles.
Exactly. So again, for IELTS Part 2, if you're describing someone's health transformation, you could say, after following a strict routine, she bulked up and felt stronger.
Right.
Or you could say, he worked out consistently and got jacked over the summer.
That paints two totally different pictures.
It really does.
Okay, last one before we test the listeners. Jam out versus strum along.
The musical idioms.
Yeah, I love grouping these together because if you think about it, jamming out is like this energetic, carefree enthusiasm.
Yes, you're dancing, you're singing loud.
Exactly. But strumming along is more of a casual, secondary participation.
Like you're just in the background.
Yeah, so I'd say we jammed out in the living room to our favorite songs. But if I'm talking about my actual musical skills, I'd say I can strum along to easy songs, but I'm not a skilled guitarist.
Perfect. I love that.
All right, well, it is time.
The moment of truth.
It's time for the advanced English quiz. So I'm going to read each question, and I will give you option A, option B, and option C.
Listen carefully, guys.
Yeah, and feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer after I read the options. I'll remind you. And then we'll give you the answer right away.
Let's do it.
Okay, question 1. Which sentence uses the idiomatic phrase over it correctly based on the lesson? Here are your options. Option A. Following the incredibly frustrating minor scheduling mistake, she was finally completely over it today.
The beautifully painted wooden sign hung perfectly directly over it near the main entrance. Or, option C, the highly aggressive athletic coach yelled loudly, demanding the players jump completely over it. Or, option C, feel free to pause the podcast here if you need a second to think about the answer.
All right, so the answer is option A.
Option A.
Yeah. Remember we talked about how being over it means emotional detachment? You're completely over it today. It's not like the literal physical jumping we saw in options B and C.
Right, exactly. Okay, question 2. Select the context where the phrase heads up is most appropriately used.
The strict, demanding elementary teacher constantly instructed her young students to keep heads up always.
The experienced project manager gave everyone a quick heads up regarding the upcoming unexpected changes.
The extremely enthusiastic referee initiated the intense championship football match with a fair heads up. Go ahead and pause the podcast here if you need to think about it.
Okay, the correct answer for this one is option B.
The project manager.
All right, giving a quick heads up. Because remember, it's an informal professional warning, like when the boss changes the meeting time. It's not a physical posture or a sports move.
Yeah, friendly tap on the shoulder. All right, question 3. In which situation does someone successfully come to terms figuratively?
The incredibly confused university students simply could not successfully come to terms during lectures.
The aggressive corporate lawyers managed to completely come to terms inside the printed document.
He finally managed to peacefully come to terms with his highly unexpected career transition. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need a moment.
And the answer is option C.
Managing to peacefully come to terms.
Exactly. It's about that gradual emotional acceptance of a difficult situation, reaching that state of maturity and peace.
Not giving up.
Right, not giving up.
Okay, question 4. Which response best demonstrates the advanced phrasal verb, jam out?
We decided to happily jam out to our favorite upbeat music during the journey.
The incredibly careless bakery assistant accidentally squeezed the sweet strawberry jam out this morning.
The highly stressed commuters desperately tried to slowly navigate the terrible traffic jam out. Pause the podcast right here if you need to think about the answer.
So this one is option A.
Happily jam out to upbeat music.
Yeah. It's all about enjoying music enthusiastically. It has nothing to do with literal fruit jam or traffic on the highway.
Good. Question 5. How would a professional accurately use the phrase run with something figuratively?
The highly competitive professional athlete attempted to quickly run with something incredibly heavy today.
The brilliant creative marketing team decided to enthusiastically run with something highly innovative immediately.
The deeply suspicious masked burglar managed to dangerously run with something valuable last night. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need more time.
All right, the answer is option B.
The marketing team decided to run with something.
Yes. Because taking an idea and enthusiastically developing it is what run with something means. It's not about physically sprinting with a heavy object or, stealing something.
Definitely not stealing. Okay, question 6. Which scenario perfectly illustrates the ability to weird out someone?
The highly unusual neighborhood festival seemed quite weird out upon the dark, empty street.
The superstitious ancient villagers attempted to completely cast the strange weird out during ceremonies.
His bizarre, unexpected comments during the formal presentation managed to completely weird everyone out. Go ahead and pause the podcast here to think.
The answer here is option C.
Managing to completely weird everyone out.
Right, because it's that feeling of making someone feel uneasy or unsettled.
Yeah.
A bad vibe, not casting out evil spirits.
Right, just an awkward meeting. Question 7. Which sentence accurately utilizes the advanced idiom no-brainer?
The highly aggressive professional wrestler called his terrified opponent a completely foolish no-brainer today.
Accepting the incredibly generous financial promotion became an absolute no-brainer for the young executive.
The completely exhausted university student preferred a relaxing, mindless no-brainer puzzle over complicated studying. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about it.
The answer is option B.
An absolute no-brainer.
Yes, it represents an incredibly obvious, easy decision. The relief of a good opportunity, like a promotion. Not an insult, and not just an easy puzzle.
All right, the final question. Question 8. Which of the following statements correctly uses the phrase, kill it, figuratively?
She managed to absolutely kill it during her incredibly difficult final university thesis presentation.
The highly terrified restaurant customer demanded the busy waiter immediately kill it with fire.
The experienced automotive mechanic advised the confused young driver to quickly kill it immediately. Pause the podcast here for the last time if you need to think.
And our final answer is option A.
Managing to absolutely kill it.
Exactly. It means to perform impressively. It's a huge compliment. No literal destruction involved.
No bugs being killed with fire.
Nope.
All right. That was the quiz. How did you guys do?
I hope you all aced it. But, before we sign off, I just want to leave you with a quick thought to kind of mull over. Notice how physical the English language is when we're dealing with abstract concepts.
Yeah.
I mean, we run with ideas, we kill presentations, we get jacked or bulked. It's so kinetic.
It really is.
So think about the idioms in your own native language. Are they this physical?
Right.
Or do they rely on entirely different senses? It's just something fascinating to explore on your own.
I love that. Language really tells you so much about a culture. Well, we really encourage you to take these phrases into your next workplace conversation or, use them in your IELTS prep.
Absolutely.
Have fun with them, sound natural, and we will catch you on the next deep dive into advanced